Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's version of Convertible Conversations. I want to ask you, what do you think about God? Everybody thinks something about God. You either think he doesn't exist or he does exist and he's like this or he's like that. The technical word for what we think about God's called theology. And we come up with doctrines, different things that we think are true about God. And I want to ask you, what would the use be of a perfect doctrine if you couldn't enjoy the people you were with? When you think that you're absolutely right, and of course that means everybody else is absolutely wrong, and they're going to go to hell because they don't believe correctly, I found that you tend to judge other people and you can't ever really enjoy them. You judge their speech, their actions, their politics, the things they do, the things they're for, the things they're against. If you grew up in a culture like I did, maybe drinking wine is wrong. Maybe not going to church is wrong. Maybe if people go to the casinos or if they let their kids watch R-rated movies. If you think those things are wrong, or your version, whatever they are, if you think that they're wrong and that by doing them a person offends God, and that person isn't going to go to hell, I found it's going to be very hard for you to relate to those other people and very hard to enjoy them. You might get along civilly, you might work with them, you might have to put up with them, but I found that you'll judge them and you'll talk about them behind their back if they believe differently than you do. You know how I found that? Because I do that. I do those things. I used to do them big time, all the time. I'm still tempted to, and occasionally I do, but now I'm seeing things much more differently. I realize I don't have the right monopoly on right beliefs. I don't believe, the things that I believe right now are almost 180 degrees different than what I believed 7 years ago, and I was a pastor, a preacher then, and I still am. My beliefs change as God shows me different things. There are over 3,000 Bible translations, and about 900 of them are in English. Actually, there are probably more than that. There are over 33,000 specific variations of the one religion of Christianity, over 33,000 different doctrines, and the different churches within those denominations don't believe the same. For any of us to be adamant that we are the only ones who believe exactly right is, well, in my opinion, it's ridiculous. It just is. Now, should we know what we believe? Should we have beliefs? Of course. But have the humbleness and be willing to admit that you just might be wrong. And also, I found that no matter what we believe, the most important thing of all is love. Can we love people? I mean, think about this. Some people are just adamant that everybody who doesn't believe like them is going to go to hell, including their parents, their kids, their relatives. Could you really enjoy heaven when you know that your child or your spouse, your best friend, is going to be punished forever in hell because they don't believe like you do? It's actually ridiculous when you start to think about it. So I encourage you to be thinking people. Have beliefs, sure, but realize you could be wrong. Be loving in how you respond to people who are different from you. Don't talk about them behind their back. Give grace and love unconditionally. Just listen to God, who is in you, and let him tell you what he's thinking about other people. See things through his eyes and hold your beliefs loosely, realizing that God may just show you today or tomorrow or the next day that something that you were just dead set on that was an absolute truth isn't. So, just some thoughts today, something I've been thinking about. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.